Now I will invite Dr. Dikran Abrahamian, who will say a couple of words, and then we can go home and find out who won the hockey game.
Thank you all for coming, and special thanks to the participants in the panel. We feel very honored. We feel very honored that our guest from the United States, he came all the way here, Mr. Suleiman Güven, who was really under extreme stress in the past 48, 72 hours, maybe more, because of the situation in Brentford. That's a totally different topic. And also to Rafi Bedrosian, who always is busy. Right, Rafi? Yeah. Thank you for all. Now, I have a couple of announcements to make. Number one, I would like to recognize today the presence of Edward Yağlıcan. At this junction, soon we are going to have the provincial elections. He's the only candidate, Armenian candidate. He represents the Green Party. That tells something about us. Please, Mr. Yağlıcan. Sorry?
Which riding?
Which riding? He is in Scarborough Center. Scarborough Center. Yeah, he's running from there.
Yes. My brother is party in Sweden too.
The other announcement that I would like to make is we would gladly, those people who would like to receive Kerak.com updates, they can just write their name. I know most of you have received the announcement through Kerak.com. We would like to stress that Kerak.com did not start for the Armenians. The Armenians hijacked it. It started with 5,000 names on the list. Those were names of academics across Canada. None of them was Armenian. I found a few of them, though. Then I removed. The idea was to tell our story, what's going on, whether it is Sèvres, Lausanne, whatever, to those who are misinformed, those who don't know, or at least get those academics who know about the issues to express themselves. At the time, we realized that simply because Canada has recognized the genocide, that doesn't mean anything. And in that sense, we agree with Dr. Astarjan. Let the whole world say that there was Armenian genocide. What does that bring to me? It doesn't take me back to Adana, where my father was born. It does not. So, that's number one. So Kerak was not for Armenians. It was for academics and the other. Of course, we have also a list of non-Armenian, not necessarily academics. It got hijacked. I'll come back to what was being said about Armenia. 2008, everybody knows the tragic events following the elections. Soon after those elections, Kerak.com, there wasn't Kerak.com, there was the idea, but there was no Kerak.com. But we organized in Montreal a panel discussion. About 8 people, including academics and non-academics, were present. And what was discussed was one of the issues that Renaissance will be discussing in a couple of days. That's corruption in Armenia. So, of course, it's not only corruption, there are many other issues. So, from that day on, Kerak, because of the response that there was at that panel discussion, couldn't anymore ignore quote-unquote Armenian issues. So we started talking about Armenian issues. Pure Armenian to Armenians. And that's what I call it. It was hijacked. So, Girar, myself, and our friends in Los Angeles, it has expanded now. Our goal for the coming season is that we will gear more towards issues, which one of them is this matter. 2 years ago, probably Dr. Astarjan would like to hear about this, and we'll be happy to hear about it.
I'm always happy to hear from you.
2 years ago, we had a question, a poll question, okay? And the question was, do you accept Muslim Hamshinites as Armenian?
Yes.
Okay? The majority, more than 70%, the answer was yes. Of course, that was not a scientific survey. I understand that. But it tells what it is, how people are starting to think about these issues that are going on in Anatolia and all over Turkey in general. Interestingly, it is one of those poll questions that more than 1,000 people have answered. It's amazing. I haven't seen in any other Armenian media where 1,000 people would, participate in a survey. It wasn't a survey, it was a poll question. The second, again, Dr. Astarjan. This is from a person in Nagorno-Karabakh. He is the publisher or one of the major editors of Third Power Plus. There is such a thing. Anyway, now it's closed, that newspaper or whatever the media. Aghajanyan, his last name. He wrote an article. It was in Armenian. Armenians didn't respond to that well because, most of us read English now. We don't read Armenians, unfortunately. When it was translated into English, and the main thrust of that article was that, look, guys, there are Muslim Armenians, and we should try to benefit from their presence. It is one of those articles that has really been, what I would say, received by acclaim. Okay? So, back to your question there, I think we are at a time now that we are looking at differently, and not regarding Catholics not being Armenian, whatever not being Armenian. I don't know. That's gone. That area is gone. The second one, with respect to the Turkish progressive movements, yes, there is a role, but let me put it this way. Why did the Gezi Park movement start? Because this is how I interpret, and I think there are lots of academicians that will agree with it, because it has come to a point where it's being realized that in Turkey, the opposition, parliamentarian opposition, bringing up real changes has not succeeded. Very cosmetic changes have been made. And therefore, what has happened, as a consequence, street politics has come into play. That's what's happening. And the reason that Gezi movement really spread out, because they knew that the street politics will change things. And unfortunately, what's happening now, Erdogan is accusing the Gezi movement being Alevi. That way, what will happen, those who are not Alevi or who are Sunni, they will start thinking, they will have second thoughts about it. Should they participate in the Gezi movement? Right? So I wanted to make those 2 points. Again, back to our meeting today. This will be just one incident. We'll continue these issues. Hopefully, we will be able to have more presence of non-Armenians. Hopefully. Thank you very much all.